Hey, do you have a friend who you think would be a good fit at Progression Fitness? Or somebody who's been asking you on how to get more information about signing up at the gym? Here's a few easy steps to get your friend started today. Pull up a web browser. Head to cfpfit.com. Next, scroll down until you see the bar that says Yoga Sweat Intro Today. Go click on it. Once on this page, head down to No Sweat Intro and click. For the widest availability, click Any Available, and then select a time that works best. It's as simple as that. See you at the gym. All right, and welcome to another episode of the Prog.cast. This is episode 7. We're getting closer to those double digits every day. First up, we won't be able to show this much longer, but September events at Progression. We've made it through almost everything. Please check out the yoga class schedule. Currently, we are on a break with our yoga classes. Remember, we're in that 2 weeks off period. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Always, this is available to everybody. If you didn't know this, you need to know this, okay? Schedule a free nutrition appointment today with Jen or Julie. Again, if you've been here for a few years and you really like to maximize results, it all starts with nutrition. Okay, and you can do that via our website. You just click on the new No Sweat intro bar that you saw earlier in that preview video. Okay, again, if you haven't thought about your nutrition, this is probably the missing link to the missing results that you're looking for. Check it out, seriously. All right, the first half hour is free, and you can decide from there if you want to continue on. Big upcoming events. We have a lot to look forward to. Fall is always a very busy time in the Progression community. October 20th and 21st, we have the Minnesota Open Weightlifting Championships. Okay, in case you didn't know, this is the largest weightlifting meet in the Midwest. We'll have over 100 lifters from all over the Midwest, mostly Minnesota, Wisconsin, Dakota area, Iowa, coming up to lift. It's a national event-like feel, and it's 2 days packed with lifting. Now, this does mean the gym will be closed on that Saturday, the October 20th, but it's free for gym members to come watch, as well as volunteer at. If you volunteer, there might be some cool swag prizes involved for if you volunteer enough. Again, October 20th, 21st. And then coming up on October 27th, we have the Halloween party presented by Club 83 and Progression Fitness. We're pretty excited about this. Please expect more details in the very near future. Halloween costumes, highly suggested if you're coming to this party. And last but not least, we have Saturday, November 17th, the Turkey Throwdown. Teams are filling up fast. Stay tuned. We have some announcements coming out soon. We finalized most of the workouts today at our weekly meeting. We're excited. It's going to be a very, very good year. So with that, we will start with our most popular part of the show, and what everything is based around here is our question and answer period. Okay? So let's start. First one, and I'm going to let Josh take this one to begin with. I think he's been working on a book on this one. How frowned upon is chalk at CFP? No chalk in the woods, but I'm not training in the woods, so some chalk would be great. Josh, I'm going to let you take this. I got to tinker around with the podcast here for just a second.
All right. Chalk is fine in the gym, I guess. We do occasionally run out, and we aren't usually in a hurry to get more. Actually, there was a shortage at Rogue. That's why there was a delay. So Rogue is all out of chalk. Seriously. So we had to go to Amazon. The reason for that article and the reason I say that in class is because, CrossFit was originally for GPP, General Physical Preparedness. And we strongly believe that if your grip is the weak part of your fitness, you should work on improving your grip, not just always going to chalk. So the chalk has been restocked. So if the chalk is returned, so we should have a photo of Logan, the hammer race.
Oh, yep.
Last year.
Yep.
He ran the race and he had a fanny pack filled with chalk.
Yeah, and again, we're not trying to bash on chalk usage, but if it's something you're relying on, it does become a crutch. If you have to stop your workout to get chalk, that's actually an excuse to break.
Yep.
And in some days that doesn't matter. If you have a long 20-minute, 30-minute AMRAP, that makes sense. You want to play on your breaks. But if you have like a 10-minute workout or less and you're taking breaks for chalk, you are ruining your intensity for that day. And you're like, oh, Nick's being silly. That's like 1 or 2 reps. It's like, that's 1 or 2 reps that maybe got you a PR. I mean, it depends how hardcore you want to think about it.
I've timed people in WODs, and I've seen up to 1:30 in a 10-minute WOD wasted on chalk. And that's fine if you actually need the break, but a lot of it is just simply displacement behavior where, hey, I don't really want to lift that barbell again. I'll go get some chalk.
Displacement behavior. There's another episode of the Prog.cast.
That comes from the dog training world.
Oh my, that doesn't surprise me one bit whatsoever. Okay, so chalk is back. You notice we have some new cool covers on the bucket.
Some people hate them.
If you can, they're designed. You do not need to take your hands out of the bucket to chalk your hands. The idea is your hands stay in the bucket at all time. This is pretty normal gym practice at gyms that allow chalk at their gyms. So the idea is your hands go in through the opening, you chalk your hands underneath the covered tops, and then you pull your hands out and look, your hands are chalked, ready to go for your workout. That's the concept anyways.
Yeah, and if you really can't stand that thing on the bucket, you can take it off and put it back on. They're easy on and off.
Just put it on for us. That's all we ask.
Yep.
Okay, next question. Can you talk about the differences in goals for WODs versus Rev and good strategy for switching between the two classes? Or is that not the intent? So what I'm hearing here is what should my goal be in a CrossFit class versus what should my goal be in a Rev class?
Oh, okay.
And then
because they're both WODs.
Yeah, they're both workouts, but what's the different intent? What is the goal of each one? And then what's a good strategy for switching between the two? Like, why might you go to a Rev class in place of a CrossFit class, or why might you do a CrossFit class in place of a Rev class? Or is that not the intent? Should people just stick to Rev, or should they just stick to CrossFit? This is a really great question, I think.
Yep, it is. It's hard to generalize, but we'll try.
Yeah.
Rev class was originally developed for endurance athletes who needed something to do in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it originally came from. It also is used for people who don't want or can't or don't have the time to develop the skills necessary for a lot of CrossFit WODs. We have adjusted to that in the CrossFit classes in some ways, simply with our legendary tract. So the Rev workouts are more cardio based. The 3 types of classes hit different cardio pathways. Mm-hmm. They are probably better for the beginner who just wants to burn some calories quickly when they join a gym. Long term, though, CrossFit is probably a better option for the majority of people. I would hit CrossFit, at least 2 to 3 days a week, and then Rev could be filled in after that. It depends what your goals are. This is a great thing to talk to a coach about.
Well, and this and don't get us wrong too. If you're like, God, I just love Rev classes. I can't believe Josh is telling me I'm missing out if I'm not going to CrossFit. Well, and we're not saying that. But here's a big thing from a coach's perspective you might be missing if you only Rev or if you only stick to CrossFit. We can talk to both sides of this, okay? So if you only stick to Rev, what's the big difference between these two classes? It's the strength. It's the use of the barbell, right? Yep. CrossFit is much more, our CrossFit program here at Progression is much more strength oriented, and that's neither good nor bad, but one of our big philosophies has always been here, if we can make somebody a little bit stronger, we can help them reach most, if not all, their fitness goals.
And to live longer.
And to live longer, right? The goal should always be on some level, whether you're just focusing on nutrition here, which we hope everybody is, whether you just come to classes, your goal should be to build the leanest possible functional muscle mass that you can right now. It's like a savings account for later in your life.
Yep.
Okay, the muscle you build now, and if you continue to work out and strength train, even if you're not seeing necessarily your numbers go up, you're maintaining muscle mass, which is probably the most important number. Okay. And it's not that you're not going to see that in Rev class, but you really have to hit those strength portions hard in Rev, or you won't see that. Okay. And so I think what Josh is saying, and just again, stick with us here, is if maybe you plan to come to deadlift day on, once a week when you see it in the program in the CrossFit class, like barbell deadlifts. That could be great. That could be your thing. That could be your strength movement. And that could be a way you can incorporate CrossFit classes and Rev classes and make them work together. All right. Josh, you got any more thoughts on that? That's a really good question.
Yeah, like the Rev classes, the 40-minute WODs are great. The issue we see...
This is the other end of it, because we're never going to get into a 40-minute WOD because we don't have the time, unless it's a special event, right?
Yeah.
That could be a reason to go to Rev class if you know endurance is your big lacking factor at like CF competitions or just in general.
Yeah, the issue then it becomes is you adapt to that certain speed, and that's the speed you always go, and then eventually you're not going to get the results you see.
I think you told me use a marathon example or use like a classic running example for that. That might be an easy one to grasp.
Yeah, we talked about this before. The marathoner who comes into us who's 30 pounds overweight.
Yep.
They're running 100 miles a week.
That just sounds painful.
And that's like an ungodly amount of calories, and like, why am I getting results? Well, your body's adapted to that motion.
There's no intensity in their training anymore.
Minimal intensity. Even there is some intensity, but they're adapted to it, so they don't get the results. Like I used to say, when you first start running, you're going to burn like 350 to 400 calories an hour running. That's great. But as you get better at running and you continue to run, those calories are not going to be the same. So very elite runner who's been running for 2 to 3 years might only burn 200 calories for an hour, even though the treadmill says 350 or 400 calories based on your weight. It's not accurate to what, because you adapted so much to it. So Rev's great. It was my baby. I've kind of handed it off now. There's other people programming it. They're doing a great job. But long-term, CrossFit's the way. We've even had people come in and do in-body scans who have thinned out really good from just Rev, but their scan shows that they have lost muscle since joining, which is a concern.
So and again, we don't want to alarm anybody. It is fine if Rev is your primary class, but you got to be aware of that. So you got to have your goals set first and foremost. That's the most important thing, right? And if you're not a goals person, what's your focus? What do you want to do really? Okay. So hopefully, eventually, what that should come to as far as fitness goes is this overall encompassing health, fitness, all that good stuff, right? And that should include some kind of strength training. Even if it's just minimal, once or twice a week is all we're talking. So again, maybe you just find a time to come in and do 5 sets of 5 deadlift one day, and then the other day you find a time to come in and do 5 sets of 5 front squat or back squat, your favorite squat. That could be a great way to pair using some open gym time with Rev class, because I know there's a lot of people who hang around in the open gym after Rev, or I'm not recommending necessarily doing 5x5 back squats after 40-minute Rev class, but find a specific good day, or Saturday at the gym is a great time for that, to get some strength in. If you are a rever, 4 days a week, hit that open gym on Saturday and do a 5x5 deadlift, and then go enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, strength is a core value here. So,
yes.
We have strength in the Rev program for that specific purpose. Just take it seriously, and you're probably going to be fine. If you're not tracking your numbers, I don't think you're taking it seriously.
Yeah, even if it's something like, what do we have in there? Kettlebell deadlifts. Yep. You should be trying to get up to a double kettlebell deadlift and increase the kettlebell size, again, over time, gradually, like everything we do in the CrossFit strength portion. Really, really good question. Remember, if you like that question, you want us to elaborate on it here, make sure you comment online as you're following along here, okay? Because we can go back to this at the end if you want to hear more about this or want us to touch something else specifically on this question. Okay, next question. Can we get a Prog.cast archives? I'd like to catch up with the missed episodes without scrolling through tons of Facebook stuff. So I think if you go, I'll confirm this and I'll post in the show notes today how to do this. But If you go, I have started a saved video file in the CFP Fitness group. There's a catalog or something of all the Prog.cast episodes that we have. So I think it is probably under our videos or our pictures. We should be able to find that. And maybe Josh can confirm for me here on his computer if he's able to find that. We'll let you know throughout the podcast. But again, I'll give you instructions here on how to see all the archived footage. But we have it all. So yes, you can. That will be in the show notes today. Next question. What are your top 5 fitness or wellness related podcasts? Oh, let's see how quick we can do this.
Shoot, I was going to study for this question.
I know. I had like at least 3. I'm hoping you got like 2 that aren't the same as mine. Let's see. I'll shoot one out. So, and not all these are directly fitness related, but they have a lot of good. There's definitely wellness. I love Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss, and when I think wellness too, I think like life organization, life betterment, besides physical training and just how you eat. But Tim Ferriss touches on like everything. If you haven't picked out a few, I think we've posted a few Tim Ferriss podcasts in our show notes as well. Barbell Shrugged I was into for a very long time. I haven't been on them as much lately, not because they're not awesome, but I just haven't been a podcast guy lately. They're fantastic though. Always having a lot of great other athletes, nutrition people on there. I was turned on to so many different cool things from Barbell Shrugged. If you go back to some of their early, maybe not their very early episodes, but go to like their middle episodes, okay, and they're fantastic. I mean, they have people on there like Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who talks about sleep and why vitamin D is so important in your body and whatnot, and just some crazy stuff you would have never just even thought to ask. One more, and then I'll see if Josh has anything. Rob Wolf, but I don't consistently listen to his podcast, but Rob Wolf is awesome. Josh, what do you got?
Icon Athlete, it's Chris Spieler's podcast. That's kind of like the Jerry Seinfeld of fitness podcast. They talk about
What's
nothing.
it called?
Icon Athlete.
Okay, these are all going in the show notes, by the way.
Yeah, it's a program he runs, and I've listened to this podcast for at least 7-8 episodes, and they've never even talked about the program.
It's just like this, probably.
Yeah, it is. Girls Gone WOD podcast is really good.
Girls Gone WOD. I didn't know where you were going with that for a second.
Yeah, it's great. Business of Fitness, that's Kalipa's new one. He's got a few good ones on there. Box Talk is good. Mm-hmm. What else am I missing? Tim Ferriss. I mean,
Tim Ferriss is. I feel like I know he isn't, but I feel like he's the guy who made podcasting popular.
He is.
Tim Ferriss is the man.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of good ones. 2 weeks ago, we shared that 80-20 powerlifting program. His Pavel episode is classic. Now take Pavel with a grain of salt.
What do you mean?
He's a very structured person. He's very different, not different type of training, but very strength-oriented training.
You need to think
very
more
simplistic.
Than 5 reps is cardio.
If you get a PR for the week, he's going to tell you to go home. But on the way,
stay in bed.
You got to be open for everything. So we got Tim Ferriss, Barbell Shrugged, Icon Athlete, Girls Gone WOD, and Business of Fitness. Who's the Business of Fitness? That's Kalipa. That's Jason Kalipa. And then I'm trying to think if we got any more. Lewis Shows is pretty good. What about Jocko Willink? Do you still listen to him?
Occasionally, his are just usually so long.
It's like Joe Rogan. He has like 5-hour podcasts.
Yeah, I usually have like 45 minutes.
So these are good if you like shorter podcasts or podcasts.
Tim Ferriss can go long too.
That's true.
He had a guy on with mushrooms and hallucinogenics or whatever it was.
Oh my God.
It was like 2.5 hours.
Oh my God.
It was great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very great. All right, next one. Ice baths are horrible, but they can help your muscles after a burner. I'm assuming you mean a workout or training session. What are the pros and cons to ice baths? Okay, I didn't study up specifically on this one, unfortunately, but I'll speak to just some old knowledge maybe that I have, and we'll see if Josh can throw anything on here. So, first and foremost, if you're going to do ice baths or anything, set some guidelines. So what is it good for? It's good for helping you recover quicker or feel like you're recovering quicker at least. Essentially, it's going to numb your legs and you can't feel anything. Does that mean you're recovered? I don't know. Not necessarily, but it might allow you to feel like you can go again.
I think it works. I used to use it for training. I would just even like I think it's even like 45 degrees is enough just to kind of what it does is you get in the water and I think your blood vessels constrict.
Yep.
And then when you get out, they deconstrict, so it just gives you a fresh supply of blood, I think.
Well, and I guess when I was first introduced to ice baths, it wasn't necessarily my entire body, but it was, so if you rolled your ankle really bad in high school, what'd you do? You go see the trainer, they'd stick your foot in a bucket of ice water, and you have to sit there for no more than 20 minutes, and they made sure it was cold and, almost freezing, and the idea was to get to the swelling and inflammation to go down, essentially. That was the point of that, and basically off of what Josh was talking about. So from that standpoint, that's been around forever. Icing, right? They always talk about rice, whether that's probably a little outdated, but still some good principles to follow. So if you are going to do ice baths, remember it's not necessarily you're sitting in there for a super long time. You're going to get it if you have cold ice water. So what's cold? Obviously you want to be just above freezing probably. All right? So you dump a bag of ice in. You don't want to sit there for more than 20 minutes because what can happen is skin damage. Okay? You don't want that going on. It's not going to feel good. Your skin will get all red and look like it, the beginning stages of frostbite. You're not going to get frostbite, but get out of the tub before then.
Yeah, I mean, the research is mixed on it, but basically the conclusion is that it won't hurt you.
Oh, another podcast, and this guy is big into this. Dr. Andy Gallopin. I'll get his specifics podcast, but he's this sports scientist guy out of... I know this out in California, but anyways, so there's a lot of schools out there. Cal State Fullerton, and he's a big time exercise scientist. And what makes him different or differentiates him from some of these other exercise scientists is he's actually this is very applicable to the actual science. He'll take force plates, he'll tell you, oh, here's what clean and jerk training actually does for you. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of these guys do that. But he's into this muscle biopsy stuff as well to see if stuff is actually changing when you do this in your muscle fibers, to see, what kind of different muscle fibers people have. But regardless, he's also into this icing and recovery methodology, or he's done some episodes on it, and he's a pretty trustworthy dude. He's published a lot of articles. I'll put that in the show notes as well under the podcast list of podcasts to check out, so we can get you some more information on icing. So, icing. Pros, cons. Pros, it's good.
I always feel better when I used to do it.
I think it mentally probably makes you tougher if anything else.
If you have a double-headed shower at home,
yeah.
Here's a little trick. So you can put the shower that's on your head, hitting your head. You can put that in hot or warm water, and then the one on your back or your legs or wherever you want to aim it, you can have freezing cold, and you don't really notice the cold.
That's interesting. So we'll link a link to Amazon for double-headed showers. Pros is very popular. Try it out. See how you like it. All right. Anything. Try it for 2 weeks consistently. See if you notice a change. We'll post some more information on that, though. Some hopefully some scientific information that can give you better answers. CFP kickball tournament. Yeah, why not? Come forward. If you want to get this going, come talk to me, Michael.
Injuries. So many injuries.
Well, besides the point, the only reason we are more than up for a CFP kickball tournament, we just want people to come forward and help organize it. That's all. So hit me up. I'm more than glad to help you promote and pump the CFP kickball tournament. Just give me the logistics, how you think we should run it. And we'll figure out an appropriate day. Maybe we can use our back parking lot, or if you recommend going to an actual kickball playing field in town, we could do that as well. Let me know. Hit me up. If you could bring anyone, sports figure, actor, actress, political figure, etc., to Friends and Family Day, who would you bring?
Oh, you're giving this to me first?
No, I'll go first too. I was thinking we would just pause and think for a couple seconds, and I'll go 1, 2, 3.
I don't know many.
John Stamos. No, sorry.
I've actually seen
him. I think it'd be cool to bring in I don't know. I always thought it was really cool if you watch the Conan O'Brien show, they actually end up at like CrossFit Horsepower, him and Kevin Hart goofing around for a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny if like Conan O'Brien or like Jimmy Fallon and Kevin Hart showed up. That'd be pretty fun to have those guys friends and family day just goofing around for the day or something like that. Dave Chappelle, I guess I'm on the comedian track now. Dave Chappelle probably wouldn't work out. I shouldn't assume that, but actually he's pretty buff lately, so who knows? So I'll go Jimmy Fallon or Kevin Hart.
I'm gonna be lame and say Chris Spieler because I met him at the Granite Games and he was amazing.
Good. I think that's good to have contrasting there. You know, different answers. If you just said like another show host, that'd be super lame.
We were in the room full of all the special guests, and he was like the most real person there.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, he was like sitting in the corner.
Yeah. Chris Spieler, check him out. If you don't know who Chris Spieler is and you consider yourself a CrossFit junkie, you should know who Chris Spieler is. The guy's awesome. Lots of good videos, lots of good content. Great CrossFit Games athlete. How much water or earth juice should I drink a day? I love that. So look for a new brand of water from CFP Fitness here. Earth juice coming out soon. Do you adjust with workouts and heat? So I'm going to pull up this little answer here that we actually got from our nutrition coach, Jen. And I'll read through it. You guys can read through it. I'll leave it up for a little bit. So here is Jen's answer. So Jen Grinnell says, water from Mayo, and this is from MayoClinic.com. Right? You've probably heard the advice, drink 8 ounce glasses of water a day. That's easy to remember, and it's a very reasonable goal. Most healthy people can stay hydrated by drinking water and other fluids whenever they feel thirsty. For some people, fewer than 8 glasses a day might be enough, but other people might need more. Exercise. If you do any activity that makes you sweat, you need to drink extra water to cover the fluid loss. So if you're like, you think you're good because you hit your 8 ounce glasses for the day, but you did a really strenuous activity like a 40-minute rev class, you definitely sweated out a lot of that water, and you need to replenish it with another glass or two. Again, later on here is going to give you more information how to determine that. It's important to drink water before, during, and after a workout. If exercise is intense and lasts more than an hour, a sports drink can replace minerals in your blood. Electrolytes lost through sweat. Noon tabs are great as well for this. Your fluid intake is probably adequate if you rarely feel thirsty. So again, if you worked out, you're thirsty, drink water. Drink another 8 ounce glass or two. All right, until you don't feel thirsty. Your urine is colorless or light yellow. That's a good sign that you're hydrated or you've been drinking enough water. In general, 60 to 80 ounces of water is a good guideline. Whole Life Challenge recommends 1/3 body weight in ounces of water. Don't overthink it. Just drink water if you are thirsty, drink water if you work out, and check the color of your pee. Light yellow to clear is good, unless you've been drinking the unicorn blood Bang energy drink. Okay?
It's clear.
Well, yeah, it's clear and sparkly.
They're
then.
all clear. Yeah, so sweat test, guys, is the way to really figure this out. And you can do this at the gym here. All you need to do is, arrive a little bit before you work out, go into the in-body scanner room, and I would strip down, get my weight, and then I would go work out. And then I would go back to the in-body scanner room, and I would take off all my sweaty clothes because that has a lot of the weight in it that you lost. Mm-hmm. And I would weigh myself again. And the difference is how much water you lost. You didn't lose weight burning calories during that workout. You lost water weight. And
again, he's not saying do an actual scan. All you need to do is check your body weight on the in-body scanner. It's a great way to do it.
And then basically I think it's 9 pounds is a gallon of water. So you can kind of figure it out from there.
Yes.
There's calculators online.
Awesome. So drink water. Keep it simple.
Yeah, and then just go by your urine.
Go by your urine. That's a really good one. If your urine is very dark yellow, drink water now. It's already too late. All right. This one is a statement. I'm just going to read it off. This was just sent in. Packers created the new roughing the passer rule, and now Clay Matthews is whining like a little baby about it. I don't have a question. I just wanted to say that. Your voice has been heard. Whoever posted this, don't know who it could have been.
Me neither. No idea at all.
Favorite pre-workout carbs? Mine is generally a banana and some variation, but having variety is good, so I'd like to hear more. So I have a couple more infographics here, again, posted from Jen Grinnell. I think Michael posted one of these too, about carbs and pre-workouts. So here's our first one. Having some carbs and protein around 15 to 20 grams each before and after a workout is good. Before workout, carbs are used as fuel, and afterwards are used to replenish what you just burned off. Higher carb sources like fruit, banana, clementine, applesauce are great pre- and post-workout carbs. If looking for protein and carb combo item pre-workout, or after a workout is good. Before workout, carbs are used as fuel, and afterwards are used to replenish what you just burned off.
Can you mute it?
Okay, sorry about that.
Sorry.
If looking for protein and carb combo item pre-workout, 000 Greek yogurt is a great option. And it doesn't slosh around in your stomach during exercise, so it sticks. All right, so a lot of good information there. You're hearing fruit. All right, think about different fruits you could do. If you're already doing bananas, check out clementines, applesauce, whole new world. 0 Greek yogurt is a totally different one. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that one. Let's look at our second carb option that we saw here. Okay, Jen Grinnell again, squeeze packets of unsweetened applesauce or baby food. They're super portable and great sources of carb. Earth's Best Organic here. Looks like they have tons of different flavors, and I've seen other ones out there as well too. Again, always read the labels because not all applesauces and not all yogurts are made equally. Don't just assume because we posted yogurt and applesauces that all of them are good. Look at these specific brands that Jen posted, okay? Hat down.
Rick, I just saw your question. You might actually be drinking too much water, Rick. Let's talk about that sometime. Give me a PM.
What was the question?
He said that he drinks plenty of water and he still cramps up all the time, mile 5 or 6.
Oh, interesting. So back to our previous water question. We're going to continue with carbs in a second. We have somebody who drinks tons of water, hits all their daily recommendations, but they're having issues during training. What could that be? Like a lack of the electrolytes like Jen talked about?
He could be flushing his system and then during the Spartan race, he's also sweating out electrolytes. So he's flushed to begin with, and then he sweats out electrolytes, and then he cramps. That's probably what's going on.
And that's pretty normal too, right? So again, you have to have that balance of minerals and whatnot as well. So most of us are on the side where we're not getting enough water. But if you are a person who has that on lock, that's something to take into account. And if you're a serious athlete,
I always see the guys with the gallons of water they're carrying around. They're always the guys that are cramping up.
Yep. I'm ready for work, bro. So pre-carbs, back to carbs again. So different types of fruit, 0 fat Greek yogurt, applesauces. Again, read the labels. I'll post those pictures of those items as well in the show notes today. A lot of show notes today.
Toad water. We're going to put that in the show notes.
Toad water?
Yeah.
Okay, toad water is going to be in there. What's toad water?
Well, when we said earth juice, I thought of it. It's really good.
Awesome.
I just wanted to say
We got new toad water coming soon to a shelf near you.
It's a diver's, scuba diver's secret.
Awesome. Next question. I see lots of people that make post-workout balls that are basically a bunch of peanut butter with other stuff. They're amazing. I love them. But isn't fat right before workout bad, even if it's good fat? So we had a couple of responses to this from both Michael, our general manager, and Jen, both who are involved in our fitness program. And let me read them really quick here to you. I got them on my phone somewhere.
How's this, Bradley?
So anyways, so fat could be one good source of energy before a workout. But what you have to be careful about, okay, is, here we go. I got it now. Sorry about that, crew. All right, so from Michael, fat is good, protein is good, carbs are good, sugar is bad. So you got to be careful there. What kind of peanut butter is it? Are you getting all natural peanut butter? Are you getting peanut butter without added sugar and a bunch of other stuff in it? Make sure you are. Okay, so maybe, and remember, if you're in the nutrition program, how much fat do they recommend per day, right? Is that in your macros? Start there first. Anything in too much is going to be bad for you, and especially before a workout. Continuing with Coach Michael's statement, fat right before a workout could cause some stomach discomfort as it takes longer to digest.
Candace just said balls are never bad.
Well, careful what you post online. We're going to read it.
She signed it pediatric urologist, so it's okay.
A 4-to-1 protein-carb ratio within 30 minutes of finishing a workout is suggested. Again, a 4-to-1 protein-carb ratio within 30 minutes of finishing a workout is suggested. How can you get that? That's a protein shake. Something else. We're not necessarily talking protein balls there. From Jen Grinnell, one of our nutrition coaches. Fat is good, but it can mess with your stomach, like Michael said, as it takes longer to digest. So if you know you're not affected by this, it's probably okay. But again, everything in moderation. If you're just constantly throwing down peanut butter protein balls before every workout, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? So maybe some variety, like we talked about with the carbs pre-workout, and just like how much are you eating? If you're having like like a thumb's worth of that, I mean, that could be your fat for the entire day. Just be aware of how much of this peanut butter protein balls you're actually eating. I'm not going to say they're good or bad necessarily. It depends how they're made and how much of it you're eating before the workout.
Yeah, get on my soapbox here again. This is another thing that, especially for you competitors, if you're really concerned about this stuff and you want to know what works best for you, you really need to track. Have your journal. What did I eat before this WOD? And then afterwards, how did I feel? Mm-hmm. You might stumble upon the secret sauce for you performing at your best during a WOD. And if you're not doing that, you're just, wow, I was really great today, awesome, and you don't really think about what you ate before or even the night before, then I think you're missing out on a lot of potential like performance gains. I wish I would have figured this out in high school. I played high school basketball, and there were games when I was a total metabolic mess on the floor, basically because I didn't know how my food affected how I played. And there were games where I was, really good. And it was directly related to what I was eating, I'm convinced now.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, so it's like one night you're out there and you're like just unstoppable, and then the next night you had pizza the night before and Mountain Dews up to the game, and then you just are a crap show.
I'm not going to say this is good, but back to Josh's point about tracking and recording what you do or being consistent and figuring out that pre-workout routine that gets you in the right mode or in the right competition mode, okay? Going to high school sports, Subway wasn't our sponsor, but every single game we pre-ordered Subway from Subway, and the managers would bring it, and we'd all get Subways, whatever we ate, right? So I do not recommend Subway at all before a workout in hindsight. But what do we have there? We had consistency every single time we trained. Could I have probably trained better if I fueled a lot better or played better games? Of course. But there was consistency. I knew how my body ran on that on what I ate beforehand.
And your body adapts to what you're eating, so actually you probably adapted to that, and it was just fine.
Yeah, and I had the consistency. Yep. Okay, whether it was road game, home game, there was Subway before the game. I knew it was going to happen.
There's worse things to eat before a game.
There's a lot worse things to eat before a game. But, I think I used to get macadamia nut cookies with that too. So, again, be consistent, track what you're doing. See one of our nutrition coaches. They could definitely help you out with that. Talk to Julie or Jen today. Next question. What are some movements in CrossFit you don't necessarily agree with? For example, lots of people are against handstand push-ups because of the risk of neck injuries. Well, and this has kind of been I'm going to go on a soapbox.
Okay, I must have missed this one in the pre.
I'm going to go on a soapbox. I'll give you some time to.
I don't need time for this one.
So, here's the deal. Here's what you have to think about. All right, goals. Common talk here, right? What do you really want to do? If you want to go RX at the Granite Games, yeah, you're going to have to do these CrossFit movements regardless, okay? So you kind of have to do it, and you're going to have to mitigate risk and injury. You're going to have to accept that what you're going to do at Granite Games isn't necessarily healthy for your long-term health, okay? But if you're here for general physical fitness, yeah, there's no reason to have to go upside down and be on your head. All right. The difference from you doing just strict push-ups versus like a handstand push-up in the grand scale of things in your overall fitness for the rest of your life really isn't going to be a determining factor because you did more handstand push-ups than you did just regular strict push-ups. Right. So that's how I like to think of this. Do you really need that movement for your goals? If your goal is to be healthy, build lean functional muscle mass, you don't need to be doing handstand push-ups or other similar movements to that. You don't necessarily, kipping ring muscle-ups aren't necessarily going to make you healthier than if you learn to do 10 to 15 really good strict pull-ups for the rest of your life, right? I mean, again, it's your goals. If you have to go to a competition and do these movements, you got to learn how to do them. But again, That goes along with look at any of these Olympic sports. Let's go outside CrossFit. What they do in the Olympics and the level that they push their bodies isn't necessarily healthy. You always see all these people all taped up in kinesio tape and whatnot. And again, that's a different extreme that those people are going to. Can you enjoy beach volleyball and not have to be kinesio taped up? Probably. It's not going to be as intense as Misty May and Carrie Walsh. I don't think they play together anymore. But you guys get my point.
That's impressive, Nick.
Thank you.
I agree with Nick, but I also understand the pull of just wanting to do these movements that are new to you and learn new things. That's awesome. That is part of CrossFit. That's the tip of the pyramid, right? Learn and play new sports. That probably applies to new movements as well. But the difference is being patient, not expecting to get these things done in 3 months, 6 months.
Even a year maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to get. I had muscle ups before. I've lost them since. I do plan on getting them again, but I'm not in a hurry. I need to go slow. I need to plan it accordingly.
Yeah.
Same thing with when I do some handstand work. It's always slowly. It's controlled, slow, and I do a lot of you need to plug in your Mac. Yeah. I do a lot of dumbbell pressing and kettlebell pressing to prep my upper body for that type of movement. So, yeah, I mean, if you're doing CrossFit as a sport, then you need to learn this stuff, and it's good to get good professional advice and be good to yourself and know that you're not going to get this stuff figured out right away, and it's going to take time. I mean,
are you going to figure that stuff out in the middle of a WOD?
No. I mean, well, for double unders, that's the only time I can get double unders is during a WOD. So
depends on the movement, but
most look at Clara and work on her handstand. She documented it pretty well on Instagram. Took her a long time. Lots of work, consistent work. Jenna Martindale, same thing. So I mean, this stuff doesn't happen overnight, and you can't get frustrated.
And I think you should really pay attention to something Josh said in there. It's through consistent training and practice. You need to plan to get the results that you want to have. So that starts with setting a goal. You want to get a handstand push-up. Let's skip the handstand push-up. You want to get double unders? By win. You want to get a strict pull-up? By win. And then, again, that's something a coach can help out with, all right? Or something you can usually, again, you're going to need to plan probably 3 months, maybe more of your time to get to this goal. And if nothing else, in 3 months, you should see some kind of progress. So if you don't quite reach your goal, you can reassess and set a new date to reach your goal. Okay? Again, that being strict pull-ups, that being any of these movements that you need to learn for your goals, like going to the Grand Games or for overall fitness and health. So really good question there. Again, post in the comments if you want to talk more about this. We'll come back to those at the end. Yesterday, CrossFit HQ added 4 more sanctioned events to the 2019 CrossFit Games qualification calendar. The CrossFit French Throwdown, the CrossFit Fittest in Cape Town, the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge, and the Brazil CrossFit Championship. What are your thoughts on the sanctioned events? Great. I think it's good. There's more events throughout the world for this instead of just being contained in the United States. CrossFit spreading their market. I think that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, my only concern is if it's winner take all. If it's like if it's first place men, first place women, each event.
Team.
Teams. I'm just hoping they have the judging figured out. But
I'm hoping too. So what's the draw in some of these places? Are they going to get a ton of people to go to Cape Town? I'm sure there's a ton of affiliates there in Cape Town. That's the only kind of concern I had. Or I know there's tons of affiliates in Europe around France.
Yeah, I think they're going to bring all these people in from around the world, and some of them are going to be done in a day or two at the games. So.
Yeah. Yep. And that would be good, though. I mean, again, it's like the World Championships. Not everybody does well there. Only 3 people medal. If somebody made a movie or a sitcom about progression, what are some famous actors and actresses you would pick to play some coaches and members, and why?
This isn't a question for me. I don't know any
I got
people.
this. I thought about this a little bit. Okay.
Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Who would he be? You?
No. Maybe. I don't think I'm very Keanu Reeves. I think... Okay, so let's just go with like some of the immediate staff so we don't get too crazy with this. I think for Josh, we could get Alec Baldwin, but he'd have to slim down for the role.
Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, dude. Put some glasses on, backwards hat. Or Keanu Reeves. You could have Keanu Reeves, too, if you want. Yeah. So, Josh, either Keanu Reeves or Alec Baldwin. Guys, comment below which one you think would be better, or another actor. Who else should we do? For me, who's the guy from Game of Thrones that played that halfling? And he's also the guy in the Orbitz Hotel commercial. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I would pick him for me, but he has to keep his accent.
Yeah.
And he should be like he's in the Game of Thrones and like that halfling character the entire time. But he coaches at a CrossFit Progression Fitness here in Rochester.
That'd be great.
That would be good. And then be a good one for Jen or Michael. I'm trying to think. I've been watching The Office lately, so I'm gonna go right back to Office people probably.
Oh.
The guy who plays Ryan from The Office could be a good Michael. Oh no, that's like the child prodigy. That doesn't make sense. But
Child prodigy.
yeah. I'm gonna spend like 10 more seconds on this. If I can't get it, we're gonna move on.
Jennifer Gardner is basically Jen.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Just put glasses on. So
It's
Jennifer
same.
Garner for Jen.
She's been mistaken for her before.
Seriously.
Yeah. Mostly by me.
Okay. Bonus points. Yeah.
Is that the last question?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, thank God.
Bang. I love it.
Bang.
What made you decide to start
yeah.
carrying it?
300 milligrams.
One
of
less
caffeine.
thing. Hold on. I got
That's what made us decide to carry it.
one less thing I have to go out of my way for. So if you didn't know, we now carry Bang energy drinks over in our new fancy
Fridge.
commercial kitchen fridge.
NSI approved fridge.
NSI approved.
I don't know what that stands for.
That means no other food, but what we put in there can go in there. That's what it
Is
means.
that what it means?
Yep.
I mean,
that's what
food,
I took
that's
the
food
first day.
safe.
Only the food that the staff puts in there, though. Yeah. Here is a look at some of the other energy drinks. Again, coming from one of your nutrition coaches, Jen. She posted this, and what we are looking at is what the other energy drinks are up against. So you heard Josh say already, it does have 300 grams of caffeine. Milligrams, but it is sugar-free and whatnot. And you can see these other energy drinks, Monster, 54 grams of sugar in a normal Monster, 56 grams of sugar in a Red Bull, Rockstar, 54 grams of sugar. So yeah, you can go look at these and they have their no sugar, no carb versions, but we all know those are terrible. Except for the white Monsters, those are really good. I don't do those anymore though.
The red ones too.
The red ones?
Yeah.
They have no carb, no sugar one. But anyways, so the Bang energy drinks, they're pretty healthy. Now be careful, all right? I took a Bang energy drink and I just drank it 20 minutes before class, the entire thing. That was a mistake. I was really glad I had a break after that class because I was wired. 300 milligrams of caffeine is a large amount if you're not used to that much. It's, 6 cups of coffee? Or
It's
a lot.
It's about 3.5 cups of 8-ounce coffee.
So this is an energy drink to be enjoyed throughout the day.
Yeah, or I mean,
Would you say 8 ounces at a time?
well, I mean, it depends. I don't know.
I don't know how you measure 8 ounces out of it, but drink a quarter of it. and
I
maybe
wouldn't
set it in
drink
the
any more
fridge.
than 1 can a day.
No, if you 600 milligrams of caffeine, if
It's
you
got a
can
lot of
handle
good
that-
stuff in it too.
Yes, it does. It's got a lot of good vitamins. We should, God, you should stall for a second. I'll go get a can and we'll just hold it up.
No.
Okay, we don't have time to stall. We're probably already going long on the podcast anyways. That is all we've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Josh, do we have any extra questions off there or not really? Did anybody make any suggestions about which coach should play who?
No.
What actor should play who? That's okay. If you guys listen on later, give us your suggestions. Which actor or actress do you think would...
There'll be more suggestions tonight. Most people watch this in the evenings
Yeah.
and there's lots of comments.
That's true. So again, Keanu Reeves, Alec Baldwin for Josh. What do you think? Jennifer Garner for Jen. The halfling...
Alec Baldwin.
Dude,
No.
Alec, but just listen to him. And he drinks scotch, too, all the time on 30 Rock.
A lot of people drink scotch.
Yeah, but not like Alec Baldwin does.
What about Jeff Bridges? That's
Jeff Bridges could be good.
That's more me.
He's a little...
Except he's got hair.
like a younger Jeff Bridges, though.
Yeah.
A younger Jeff Bridges.
Like Tron.
Yes, just like Tron. Yeah. Oh, my God. Fantastic. So, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 7 of the Prog.cast. You'll see the questions the questions document where you can ask your questions for episode 8 next Wednesday, posted very soon. Okay? Have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you get to the gym at least 4 times this week. That's the only secret we really have for you. And pair it up with some nutrition.
Thanks, guys. Play some funky music.
Right now. Hey, do you have a
water.